Bromantane is a stimulant that was developed in Russia and has unique properties like being able to boost energy levels and at the same time actually decreasing levels of anxiety. And there are countless positive anecdotes you can read about online, but what does the research have to say about Bromantane, and what's been my experience after using this nootropic supplement on and off during the past 2 years? I'm excited to share with you the 5 benefits that may be associated with Bromantane. You'll also learn about the dosage protocol. I consider myself to be pretty sensitive to nootropic supplements, so disappointingly, Bromantane hasn't done too much for me, although there are a few key circumstances in which I do actually use Bromantane and notice a benefit. And the first benefit that may be associated with the use of Bromantane is physical energy. As per this anecdote, one user mentioned that while on Bromantane, I felt like my adrenaline was elevated, I was stronger and able to lift heavy objects that normally would strain me. And unfortunately, there's no research done on humans which may support this, but users are often ingesting 100 milligrams of Bromantane at the beginning of the day and feeling stimulated, energized, and productive throughout the whole course of the day, which is a little bit similar to phenylparastam, which is a nootropic supplement, which is very stimulating. It's like an extended release caffeine. I've talked more about phenylparastam in this video over here. Although what makes Bromantane unique is that it may be able to boost energy levels, help with productivity and focus, while at the same time actually decreasing levels of anxiety, which is really quite rare. And the mechanism of action of Bromantane is actually very interesting in the way that it affects your heart as well as circulation. What happens when you use Bromantane is that more oxygen reaches your brain and your muscles. Your heart doesn't need to beat as often to move blood around, and your heart is actually stronger and potentially more efficient. And something I like about Bromantane is that it's not this like overstimulated feeling. Like if I were to ingest Bromantane and do a cardio session, my heart would be beating as normal, whereas there's other stimulants and they would actually accelerate my heart rate and it would actually scare me to work out. And then as a result, I actually avoid exercise or avoid cardio because of the fact that my heart rate is already racing so fast. And that's also the reason why users are actually comfortable using it, and some users are using it every single day. The second benefit that may be associated with the use of Bromantane would be improved wake-sleep cycles. And that's really what you want, because what this means is that during the time you're sleeping, you're fast asleep, you're resting well, and during the period in which you're awake, you're energetic, you're clear-minded, and you're focused. And this is especially unique because with a lot of stimulants especially, what happens is you're energetic throughout the day, but it actually disrupts your sleep. And this often sets up for a terrible crash the following day. Like for example, on days when I'll use phenylparastam, I'll have a great day, although the following day I feel a bit groggy and a little bit unproductive. So with Bromantane, it's comparable to supplements like magnesium. Like some individuals notice that when they take magnesium or magnesium L-threonate, my personal favorite, they feel more energetic during the day and they have restful sleep at the same time. Although you should be warned that not everybody has this experience, and of course with any nootropic supplement, the effects are highly variable from one individual to the next. Some people actually notice that their sleep is worse when they're using Bromantane, and some individuals report feeling low energy and a lack of motivation when using the supplement. The third benefit that may be associated with the supplementation of Bromantane would be decreased anxiety, and this is the one where most people get excited about, because most supplements which are stimulatory or help to focus by nature do as a result increase your levels of anxiety. And this study actually suggests that rats perform better during a maze, and the researchers suggested that this happened because the rats were actually less anxious. And unfortunately, we don't have any human research which may support this hypothesis, but it's nice to know. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. As per this post on Reddit, the thread title reads, "Have you noticed any long-term benefits from low dosage Bromantane?" And surprisingly, the most common benefit that was found amongst the users was that Bromantane did actually decrease their levels of anxiety. And one interesting application of Bromantane that a lot of people do enjoy is actually using the supplement when they're taking time off other stimulants. Like for example, if they're taking time off caffeine or maybe even something as extreme as Adderall, then they would like Bromantane because theoretically, and the mechanism of action may suggest that it could help your brain just better cope with the level of anxiety you would typically experience during some of those withdrawals. The fourth benefit that could be associated with the use of Bromantane is an increase in your sex drive. And as per this anecdote, one user mentioned that they find Bromantane is a libido enhancer and orgasm intensifier. And I can't say I've had that experience with Bromantane. I really haven't found anything to increase libido too significantly or increase testosterone too significantly. My favorite natural testosterone booster is Tonka Ali. I've talked more about in this video over here. With respect to Bromantane, different serving sizes may do different things for you. So we're still waiting for research which may support whether or not Bromantane can boost testosterone levels. And who knows, maybe it could be boosting testosterone, and then that's why users are reporting hitting PRs and having great weightlifting sessions after using Bromantane. And the fifth benefit which could be associated to the use of Bromantane is increased dopamine, and that also likely means more motivation. And it's really interesting the way this works, because with other nootropic supplements, the way they actually increase levels of dopamine in the brain is by like giving you like an artificial shot of dopamine and just boosting it, and who knows how healthy that could be for your brain. Or the other way they may be increasing levels of dopamine is by actually disrupting the reuptake of dopamine in the brain. But the way that Bromantane may work is that it's suggested by research that it makes it easier for your brain to actually make dopamine naturally. And there's even research which may suggest that these effects could actually actually last after you discontinue using Bromantane. So if you were to use it for a few months, you stop using it, you may actually benefit by experiencing more dopamine the following days thereafter. This experience reads that the effects build up with time and they had a positive impact after 3 months of use. So this is really fascinating, and it's the reason why I'm still keeping my eyes on Bromantane, because it may be useful under certain conditions. Like, let's say if you're somebody which believes you have low dopamine levels and you've tried other dopamine enhancers like tyrosine or like mecunopurines and you haven't noticed benefits, maybe Bromantane could be a practical application. And with respect to the dosage protocol, a great place to start is by taking 25 to 50 milligrams and doing that once per day. Some users actually notice they use Bromantane and they feel the effects instantly and they notice them throughout the day, but the research suggests that most likely you should be taking it for 3 days for you to start noticing some of the benefits. I actually don't notice Bromantane working most days I use it, but the one exception to that is when I use Bromantane on days where I'm sleep deprived. And so what I do is I'll use 100 milligrams first thing in the morning on those days. So I would avoid taking it in the evening, especially if you're new to the supplement. Everyone experiences different benefits, so I'd love to know your thoughts on Bromantane in the comment section below. Do subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to chat with me one-on-one, you can message me on Patreon. And don't forget to visit our Discord server where we have a 24/7 chat room, and I appreciate your interest in nootropics and look forward to seeing you next time.